All right, welcome to our 6 p.m. yoga flow class with me, Ashley, over at Ash's Yoga Studio. It's kind of a shame that I've got all this space in there. This huge yoga studio can fit like 35 people, and I'm using the little front lobby for everything that I'm doing lately. But it's also kind of fun. It's a lot more bright. Coffee shops being painted next door. There's still a lot of camaraderie going on down here, but social distancing is still in full effect as well. Lots more masks going on. Anyway, let's step aside from that and bring ourselves to this. So we'll start today in a seated pose. Seated pose, whatever is most comfortable for you. Today is going to be that yoga flow, and we're going to focus on a little bit more of the lower body, the hips, everything that just becomes tight from sitting a lot during the day. So if you have a strap, a scarf, or a belt, or something that could be used as a strap, I would recommend grabbing that so we can use it throughout the practice. We'll especially be using it when we get to some of the latter half of class, when we do some of our hamstrings and hips and sort of use that strap in a nice mellow way. If you have a couple blocks, cool. If not, they're not super required. They're just sometimes handy to have. Blocks or cans of something, soup cans or something, just to lift the floor up a little higher for stability. Okay, so we're in the seated pose. We're going to keep it simple by just dropping in. Dropping in, that means bringing our awareness, our self, our presence to this moment. So together, take a deep inhale, reaching up, and then float the hands down into the lap or onto the knees, closing the eyes or gazing down. Find more length through the spine, through the top of the head, and observe. Observe this moment. What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you notice? Pay attention to your breath. In our practice of yoga, just like the practice of life, our breath is going to help be our guide. Coming back to our conscious breath, noticing and getting deeper with that inhale, slower with the exhale. It's in and out through the nose. Can you feel your belly, feel your chest? And then let that go, exhale. The number one thing that's going to help us to release some of that tension and tightness is to breathe deeper. And when you feel times of anxiety or stress, come back to the breath. Deep, slow, like an ocean wave rolling in and rolling out. Find that oxygen, that air, filling your entire midsection, starting with the belly base of the lungs, rising up, rolling up, and the exhale, slow, starting to descend the belly, rib cage, and chest. And there's so much more we can notice with our breath, but we'll move on. Just knowing that the breath is our guide. If it gets choppy, it's a good cue to back off. If it feels fluid, steady, and your mind starts to wander, it's a good indicator to maybe try something more. Take one more deep breath in and a slow exhale out. And we start our movement practice. Breath to movement warm-ups. Reach those hands up, inhale. Take a side bend. Right hand comes down, left arm over, or maybe it's the opposite. Inhale, reach up. Other hand comes down, exhale, find that side bend. In between each side bend, find more length to the top, reach up, exhale, side bend. Inhale, reach up. Side bend, exhale. Reach up, inhale, let's do two more. Exhale to the side, palm facing down, maybe look up towards the elbow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down, side bend. Now from here, reach up, bend the elbows, pull back, find that heart open as the shoulder blades squeeze together. Hands touch down behind you, again, pressing down, feel space between the front of the shoulders. And then the opposite of that, round the back, reach forward, pull the belly in. And keeping the legs exactly as they are, we'll switch the crossing of the legs in a moment. Lift up nice and tall, hands in front of you, walk your hands forward. You might find your elbows, or you might find just a little lean forward to start that initiation into feeling more of the hips. So if you want a little rock from side to side, notice how that feels. If there's any tension or tightness on the knee, or tension, tightness is often okay, but if there's any pain on the knee, please switch out of that position into something else. Good, lift it back up and switch the crossing of your legs. You're gonna add on with some twists. Similar to the side bends, this time a gentle twist from side to side, breath to movement. Inhale, lengthen, reach up. Exhale, twist, pick a side. One hand to the knee, other hand behind you. Look over that back shoulder. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Reach up. Exhale, twist. And we'll do two more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach up. And one more twist. Right hand, left hand, down on the knee, down at the base of the back. Reach up, inhale. Do that again. Bend the elbows, pull them back, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulders. Hands behind you, press it down. One more breath, lift that heart, squeeze the shoulders. Reach forward, hug the belly in. Find space in the back of the body, moving through that spine. And then hands come down, sit tall, hinging at the hips, walk the hands forward. Different on this side compared to the other side, very normal. We tend to favor one side. So for a while, maybe in your yoga practice or when you're sitting on the floor at home, which I hope we all do, switch the crossing of the leg to the more uncomfortable side. Take two more breaths here. Good, and then we walk it forward. So roll forward, hands reach forward, lift up onto your hands and knees, swing the legs around. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. I think we know what's coming up next. Let's go cat and cow. Arch the back, look up, inhale. Round the back, look down and exhale. A couple more times. Inhale, round, look up. Arch, look up, whatever it is. Exhale, now round, pull the belly in, tuck the chin. Once more, inhale, roll those shoulders back. Lengthen out of your turtle shell. And exhale, lift the belly. Back to our neutral position. Let's find some more extension here. Extend one leg straight back. I'm not going to tell you which one, just pick one. Extend the opposite hand straight forward. A little bit of movement here, a little more core strength. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, pull the elbow and the knee together. Squeeze it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in. One more, reach. Exhale, pull in. Lengthen and inhale. Take just the hand down, keep the knee right back. Take the leg, keep it extended. Bend the knee like you're stamping the ceiling above. We can do hip circles here. So we lift the knee out to the side and then in and around. Keeping strong through both hands equal weight, just moving through the hip and that leg, the one that's lifted. Be careful not to lean too much onto the opposite knee or bump that opposite hip out. And then let's switch directions, up and open to the other side. So I didn't tell you a way you could intensify, but I could tell you now. If you tuck the toes under and lift the knee an inch off the floor, the opposite side, it's gonna intensify. Anything on the hands and knees when you hover a knee or two. All right, one more. And place that knee down. Maybe we'll try that next. All right, opposite leg back, straight back. Flex the foot like you're kicking through the heel, straight back, find that extension. Reach long the opposite hand forward, shifting forward into that base hand. Take a deep breath in, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Reach, inhale. One more time, exhale, rounding into the back. Tuck the chin, inhale, extend. Pause. Take the hand down, knee bent. There we go. Keep it lifted, like you're trying to stand at the ceiling, and we could do a little, pulses if we want to, but we'll do hip circles. So flex through that foot, lots of engagement, lift up and around. And I realize that on video, black is not the best color to wear because you can't see which leg I'm using. So that's why it doesn't matter too much. So I said, pick a leg. And then switch directions, down, out, and around. And then place that knee back down. Take the knees a little wider, sit back on the heels, extend the arms forward. Forehead down towards the floor, child's pose. All right, we'll do a child's pose flow, child's pose vinyasa flow. So from child's pose, extending the hands way forward, reaching, hands plant down, shoulder distance apart. Tuck the chin a bit, lift up onto the knees and shift forward into a modified plank onto the knees. Bend the elbows, hug the elbows, and keep sending the shoulders forward. Up dog or back to modified plank pose on the knees. Exhale, send your hips back to child's pose. Can we do that a few more times? Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga from the knees, or maybe pick up the knees. Up dog, inhale, or plank pose, and child's pose. I'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, forward. I'm going to pick up my knees this time. Exhale, tricep push-up, chaturanga. Up dog, I'm going to stay floating on my toes for now. Knees down, child's pose. 2 more. Forward, inhale. Exhale, lower. Up dog. And child's pose. Okay, you can play with what works for you in the feet, the legs. Inhale, forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or plank. This time, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Pressing the heels down towards the floor, bend the knees one at a time. Notice where you might find random tightness. For me, I've got this random right calf thing going on. My right ring finger is also experiencing something. I have no idea why. It must have been something I've done. Relax the head, shake it out. Let's walk the feet forward. Top of the mat, feet just behind the hands. A little wider, so hip distance or so. Fold it down. Grab the elbows, shake out the head, let that go. Nice little evening forward fold stretch. Sway from side to side. All right, release your hands, bend the knees, and slowly roll yourself up. I'll get into one of my favorite types of warm-ups, a Tai Chi style move with a little Tai Chi style breath. Bend the knees a little bit more, like horse stance. Actually widen the legs, bend the knees. I've been doing this a lot in my morning moves, my 6 to 6:30 a.m., which I'll probably continue forever because I love it. So you bend the knees, our horse stance. Bring the hands up and into the shoulders. Then take the hands forward and down. It's a nice wheel style of breath and movement. Exhale, press forward and down. Inhale, lift softly. We're moving softly, we're breathing. And one more, hands to shoulders. Exhale, hands forward. Let the wrist grow loose. This next thing is called brush hands. We brush the front of the room with our hands as brushes, straight legs. Exhale, bend the knees, keeping the chest lifted, brush forward. You may or may not touch the ground. Inhale, lift up, brushing the front. The reason I'm doing this too is because Eric, the coffee shop guy from Viking Brew right now, is painting his building. So I thought, you know what? Brush hands. And right now he's painting black around the windows, the gray to replace the turquoise or the teal. So I just thought, you know, let's help him paint the coffee shop so it can open as soon as possible. All right, so we'll do one more down the center. And we go over to the right side, flex your right foot, bend into the left knee a little bit, hinge forward, more of like a forward fold. Feel that right hamstring. Rise up, making a little rainbow pivot, pivot in the heels. Left toes up, exhale, a little bend in the right knee as you fold over that leg. Back and forth once more, right and left. Rising up back to the center. Connect the hands at your heart. Bring the hands together. Turn the toes out, heels in just a bit more. Maybe we bring the feet in a little bit. Reach up once more, little back bend, hips forward. Exhale, bend the knees and squat. Squat into that yogi squat. Also sometimes called malasana or garland pose. So pressing the elbows into the knees, lift the heart. You might find the heels in a little bit more. Let's play around in this pose for a second, a minute or so. Let's take that right hand down to the floor. Pressing the tricep or the elbow still into the knee. Left arm, reach it up. You might not get too much of a twist here. You can try a little bit of a twist. This is one of my favorites. So we're just doing an open, twisted malasana. No bind yet. And then switch. Open up to the other side. Right, hands back to the center. There are two ways into Bird of Paradise pose, and we're going to try both of them in this practice. So there are definitely different stopping points that you could stay at, and squat is one of them, but we'll get there in a little later as we warm up our body. So from here, lengthen the hips by placing the hands down, lengthen the legs again, forward fold, point the toes towards the front. Heel toe the feet together, and we'll roll ourselves up as our second time that we come up from our standing forward fold to standing position, mountain pose, back to the top of the mat. Now let's get into some of those warrior poses on the series. That includes some hip opening. Reach those arms up, a lot of heat building too. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, step the feet back to plank pose. Shift forward on the tippy toes. Remember, knees or toes, whichever is good for you in plank pose. Hug the elbows to the rib cage, send the shoulders forward, bend the elbows. Chaturanga. Up dog, inhale, slide the heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Brings your hips up and back. We'll start with that right side. Take that right leg up behind you, heel lifted to the sky, but not all the way up, just like a little bit. Bend the knee, hip circles here too. Lift the knee, lift that right leg, bring that right leg out and around. Do 3 each direction. And then switch sides, switch directions. We're gonna come first into a low lizard lunge. So let's take that right leg up again, lift the left heel, step the right foot to the outside of that right hand. Outside, outside, there we go. Outside, so now we're in this low lunge. You can't really see my right leg, that's okay. I'm stepping right directly to the outside, hands on the inside. Awesome. Bend that back knee for a moment. Press that heart forward, lift the gaze. Then exhale, straighten that right leg as you fold on the inside of that right leg. Do that a couple times. Inhale forward. You might tuck the back toes under. Exhale, straighten that right leg. Pull the toes back towards the body. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, let's go into that straight leg or bent knee, left knee at the mat. And then back to our lunge. On the inside, left hand stays down. Create as much space as you want or need in between that left hand and the foot as we twist. Right hand reaches forward, up and around. You could take that right hand onto the knee of that right leg and press down to twist, or keep reaching up or back. You turn here for a moment to let you know what's going on. Then take that right hand back down to the floor. Roll onto the outer edge of that right foot. Outer edge of the right foot. Whew. Your knee, again, can be up or down. We're supporting ourselves on our hands. Just get a little bit into that external rotation. Not too much though, just enough to feel sensation. And then bring it back, toe down to the floor. Lift the back knee, hold it, low lunge, and just pause. All right, bend the back knee, get ready. We're stepping forward, and it might be a couple steps to get to our squat. Step and lower. Yes, yes, good, squat pose. So this is a very kind of an active hip flow. It's not just stretchy. We've got to get that heat built in there too. Hands to the floor, lengthen the legs, heel toe those feet together. Bend the knees and roll yourself up. Take your right knee with you to lift up. Let's see what this says. Knee lifts. All right, take your right knee up. Good. Right leg lifted. Ankle then goes above the knee. Find that figure 4 for a balance pose. Little bend in that left knee. And we want the knee that's bent is the same one that was forward. So I know I might be opposite of you here, or might look like it. So your right knee is bent, ankle is over the knee, bend the left knee, reach forward. Can you bend a little bit more? Maybe, maybe not. And just simple, kind of simple figure 4, standing, just working that balance. Reach up. How about bend the elbows and pull it back? Hands behind the back, interlace. Press down, open the shoulders, the chest, the heart. Straighten that bottom leg. Hinge forward just a little bit. Now let's change that. Lift that right knee. With the hands behind the back, extend it back. Right leg back, warrior 3. You might tap the toe here. Or maybe it's a T position. Bending into that left knee, step back into a lunge. Reach up. Guess what? Hands to the inside of that left leg. Let's do the other side. Heel toe the left leg out. Heel to that left leg out. Good. Hands on the inside. Awesome. Knee over the ankle. Stay here. We'll do a few of those straight leg to bent knee in the front side. So the back knee can be down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Pull the toes back, half splits. Inhale, take it forward. Again, you can pick up the back knee or keep it on the floor. Exhale, straight leg on the front. Press that back heel towards the back of the room. Inhale, forward. Exhale, let's take it back. Hips up or back. And then forward again. Heading into that twist, right hand, as much space as allows for your body. Left hand reaches forward and around into that twist. Stabilize through that right leg by pressing the heel back and engaging through the quad. Your hand could be on your knee for the twist. Could be reaching up. Roll both shoulders back and down away from the ears, taking them in a good, nice, stable position. Rather than collapsing in this bottom shoulder, we're pressing out into the floor like we're trying to press the floor away. Good, and that left hand comes forward and around back to that low lunge, lizard lunge, and roll to the outer edge of that right blade of the foot. You can, again, knee down or up and hold a couple deep breaths. So we should be feeling that left hip area and also the front of the right leg, the quads and hip flexors. Be mindful of the hands, the wrists. You can always use blocks in front of you to put some weight off of the hands and back, shift it back to the lower body. And let's take that knee back. Hold your low lizard lunge, hands on the ground. Lift the back knee and pause. Three, two, and one. How about that squat pose? Hiya! And lower down, hips down. Okay, this is where I'll show you or give you that option for the first way to, oh, not yet. The first way to do Bird of Paradise is from a squat. I haven't taught this much before. I usually teach it from a side angle or a warrior stance. But we'll do it from our squat next, after we do our figure four. Hands down, lengthen the legs, heel toe the feet together. Roll your body up, lift up, reach up and lift your left knee with you. Yeah? Yeah. Let's take the ankle above the knee. Draw that left knee back. Straight at first, hands to your heart. Bending into the right knee, reach forward. Flex through this foot. Got this. Then how about we reach up, pull the elbows back, little back bend, heart opener. Reach forward and behind the back, swim it back. Connect the hands, press down. Stand up straight, lift that left knee, and extend the leg back to your warrior three. Again, toe tap or hinge forward. Flex foot, straight legs. Little micro bend in the knees, always nice. Step back to a lunge. Reach up, both hands down to the floor. Step back to plank pose. Shift high on the toes. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog, inhale. And down dog, exhale. Or skipping that and going straight to down dog. So now we step or jump to that yogi squat. So once again, same place we were in before. Yep. So we land there. And this is where a strap could be helpful. We'll try this together. So there's a way we can get into Bird of Paradise from a squat. And we'll actually have to get out of the squat a little bit. We can always just stay here and sort of hang out in this lovely and twist and squat position, because it's a great place to stay and like get into hip opening. So I've got my strap. I probably won't use it, but again, you can try. Let's do this. So you actually have to lift up a little bit. So now we're up into this half sort of squat. The hips are still kind of low. Hands are down. Gonna take our left arm. Let's try our left arm first, or maybe it's your right. In between your legs to the same leg side, so behind the knee. The other arm wraps around your back and you find your hands. Yeah? The base leg, the one that your arms are not wrapped underneath, stays still. Take your tippy toe of that wrapped up leg onto the ground. Rise up slowly. There's our bird of paradise. You can, instead, the strap is used for the bind. So if the hands don't touch, you can grab the strap and connect behind you, or release that and just hold the knee. The bigger version might be straightening that top leg. You can come back down into the squat or half squat, let go of the hands and bring it back down here. We'll try the other side. So again, we're gonna lift up just a little bit. More in this like, all right team, let's go type of thing. One hand goes underneath, around the same side knee. Okay. Opposite hand goes around the back. And you find your hands connected, one arm underneath your thigh, one hand around your back. Get stable into that base leg, lift up to the tippy toes of the knee that's bent and the arms are wrapped around, and slowly rising up. Being very mindful of the knees and the legs. It's a big back stretch too. Hip opening, back stretch. Straighten the leg, keep it bent, bind or no bind. All right, and then we bring the foot back down into your squat, let it go, back to your squat. We tried it. Another way to do that is simply standing up here and then lifting a knee. We can even just hold, coming back down. So look at this kind of exercise. Yeah, exercise. If you're looking for more of that fitness component or cardio, but you know, we'll save that maybe for yoga sculpt class. All right, lengthen the legs. Let's release that by folding forward, shaking out the head. So the second way into bird of paradise is through our warrior lunges, and I'll give that option as well. So heel toe the feet together, roll yourself up. We'll do one simple sequence, standing once again. Let's come to the top of the mat. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, going through our vinyasa flow. Exhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank. Shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Down and facing dog, exhale. Let's start with the left leg this time. Why not? Lift the left leg, inhale. Bend the knee and step, shifting forward, step to the inside, or actually, yeah, the inside of the hands. So in between the hands. Spin the back heel down, reach up for warrior one. I'm gonna switch directions here. Reach up for warrior one. Then open up right away, right hand, back, left hand forward, warrior two. Get those hips level, gazing over the left fingertips. Press down into the pinky toe of the left side. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior. Find a nice side body stretch. Look up. Back to warrior two. Bend the elbow, place the elbow to the thigh, reach up with that right hand. And this is where we can take our second version of getting into bird of paradise. Back heel farther back, find long length through that right leg. Right hand goes around the back. You might find the top of the left thigh. Keep spinning that heart open, shoulder back. Left hand might find the floor, might bind underneath that left leg, finding the hands together. Instead of collapsing here, let's stay open and lifted. Then look down, just turning your gaze, not your whole body. Look down for balance and stability. Bend the back leg, right leg, bend, step forward to find the position we were in before. Step the right foot, keep it down, and lengthen, lifting up, lighter on the left side. Bird of paradise. Side number one. And we're gonna come back down. So just a quick one. Step back, side angle, open up the arms. Lift back up, rise up. And guess what? We're just going to shift sides. Straighten that leg, pivot to the other side, bend the right knee, warrior two. Flip that right palm, reverse warrior. Reach up with right hand, down the back leg with the left hand. And try this side. Let's take it back to warrior two. Deep bend in the right knee, side angle, elbow to your thigh. Left arm can go straight up. Bend maybe a little deeper, get those hips down. Keep the chest lifted as you take a half bind with that left arm behind you. You're more than welcome to stay here and breathe. Feeling enough as it is. Now let's take that right hand onto the floor, underneath that right leg. Stay lifted and open in the heart. Just the gaze turns down, not the body. Step the left foot, the back foot forward. Part way, lift up on the tippy toes of the right leg and slow rise. With or without the leg extension. Find a focal point, stay there. And take the foot back down. Step back, open the arms, side angle. Rise up, warrior two. Straighten the legs and turn the toes towards me. Hands on the hips, take a deep breath in. Wide forward fold, exhale, take the hands down, hinge at the hips. Walk the hands over to the right, actually, yeah, let's go left side, back to the front of the mat. To the left side, pivoting, back knee comes down. Now heading to our pigeon pose. It's a great after bird of paradise pose to feel, well, something different for the hips, more stretchy. So we heel to that left foot across the mat. Lay the shin and the knee down. Extend the back leg, lengthening, lifting just a bit. Take an inhale. And then walk your hands or crawl your hands forward, melting your heart and belly over that shin, left knee, and length the left shoulder. I like a block to place on my forehead if there's any tightness, and also helps to relieve some of that tension. So block, or you can stack your fists one over the other. Of course, there are other options such as lying on your back or doing a seated figure four. Very similar sensation, maybe a little safer for some. We're going to walk our hands back up underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes under. Step back. Give your left leg a little shake out. We'll get into pigeon pose a different way from down dog for the other side. So take our right knee, right ankle forward across the mat and into pigeon pose other side. Slide the back leg farther back. You can adjust a little as needed. Hips and shoulders point towards the front of where you are. And we crawl ourselves down, taking those nice few breaths. Each breath chipping away at the tightness, feeling softer, more grounded at the end of each exhale. And walk the hands back up. We'll step it back again to downward facing dog, tucking the back toes. Take that right leg back, a little pedal of the feet, maybe lift the leg. And then take your knees down, sit back on the heels and swing the legs around. Feet come together, open wide with the knee, bound ankle. But first, let's add a little energetic upper body, maybe a little twist to this. So reach forward and connect the hands. Take a deep breath in, shoulder stretch, pull back, bend the right elbow, take the left arm across the body, exhale. Inhale, lift or straighten forward. Exhale, bend the left elbow, pull that right arm across. Inhale, extend. Other arm, exhale. One more time, forward and pull it back. Right arm across. Inhale, forward, keeping the hands connected. Flip the palms so they're facing outward and pressing towards me. And lift the palms straight up towards the sky. They might not get right above your head, that's okay. But soften through those shoulders. Feel a little shakiness in the body. Release the hands and reach towards the feet. Grab onto the feet, deep breath. Exhale, pull forward, elbows to the knees or thighs. And then we lift back up from our bound angle. Bring the knees together. Let's roll down to our backs or slide down to your back. So if you have your strap, please take it out because we'll need it for this next series. We're gonna roll it down onto our backs. Good, good? Good. Right leg goes straight up. I'm gonna take the strap around the foot. So let's get a little bit more into that hamstring and hip area as we pull that arm or the leg back using the weight of our arms. The left knee can stay bent or extended out in front of you and relaxed. About 5 breaths, pulling back towards the upper body. You can take one side of the strap, each hand, or both together, doesn't matter. Now is where we get into the stretchy part of our practice. Then take that leg out to the right side. Right hand grabbing onto the strap, left hand mindfully on that left hip to keep it down. Right leg goes out to the side, hover above, just above the floor. Don't let it touch and pull upward. And then bring that right leg back up to the top. And twist. Take the strap in your left hand. The leg goes across the body. You might lift up onto that left hip a little bit to get into it. Right arm open, leg goes across, pulling upward again towards the upper body, towards the face. Keeping the foot just above the floor. Okay, bring that leg back up to the top. Pull back once more towards the upper body, hamstring stretch. And then bend the knee, releasing that strap for a moment. Hug it in. A little wiggle side to side or move side to side. And then switch sides. Whew. And we'll actually just extend the leg and notice right now the difference between the right and the left side. Just notice. We did left side pigeon first and the right side pigeon first. We switched from right to left, whichever one was first. But notice right now after that, what the right side's feeling compared to the left. And now we switch. Place that strap around just above the arch of the foot. Right knee can bend at first just to get into place. And you pull back in that left leg, straight leg. So you're pressing out through the heel. Straighten the leg if you'd like, that right leg. Let's take that left leg out to the side. Look away from the leg or use both hands to help pull it upward. And if it doesn't get close to the floor, that's okay. That's actually preferred. We keep both shoulders anchored and right leg down. Right hand can be on that right hip, keeping it down, or the right thigh. And lift that leg back up to the top. Let's take a twist over to the other side. Twist it. You lift up onto that right hip. Look away from the legs, pull upward with that right hand on the strap. Now let's bring that leg back up to the top. Pull it close to the upper body. Once more, exhale, and then release that. Take the strap to the side. We don't need it anymore. Hug the knee in, rock side to side. But one thing we will do is hug both knees in, give a squeeze, and then both feet down on the floor, adding in just a gentle, nice bridge pose. So heels towards the backside, knees hip distance and pointing up. Press down to the hands and the feet and lift the tailbone, the mid back, low back, squeeze the shoulders. Just a couple of deep breaths. And then lower back down, nice and steady. One more squeeze in, give yourself a nice little hug. We're heading to Shavasana. So we'll take the legs forward, extend them, let the feet fall open. And of course, if there's another pose that's more comfortable for you or some sort of modification using props, pillows, blocks, or maybe you're jumping under the covers of your bed for a nap, that's totally okay. But use this time as a break, a way to absorb and acclimate and to transition into our evening and out of this yoga movement practice. So for a moment, we're still for a couple minutes. Enjoy the heaviness of your body. Notice what you're feeling. Once again, notice your surroundings, both your internal sensations and what you notice around you. How have things changed since we first began less than an hour ago? Can we rest just a little bit more easily? Releasing the legs, the hips, the feet being heavy, shoulders heavy and head heavy. Closing the eyes. Can you feel yourself melting or sinking a bit deeper? All right, let's start to wiggle the fingers and toes and take a deeper breath in and out. And of course, you are welcome to stay in this place for as long as you would like. You can even shut me off and just keep relaxing. But I'll conclude, as I regularly do, both in my online and in-person classes. So you reach your hands overhead, and roll to your side. Pause here. And then pressing into that top hand to lift back up, sliding yourself up gently, comfortably to a seated pose. And this concludes our practice. But before we leave, let's reach our hands up, connecting at the top, Anjali Mudra, to your heart's gratitude, appreciation. Hug it close to you, thumbs to heart center. One more deep breath in, and let it go. Great job today. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure to have you here, both live and hello to anyone watching the recording. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. Namaste.